Imagine standing on the balcony of a 42-story skyscraper, looking down at a city that never sleeps. You have everything you were told to want: the six-figure salary, the designer suits, the prestige. But as you look at your reflection in the glass, you realize you don't recognize the person staring back. You've spent 10 years building a life you're too exhausted to actually live. My name was Evelyn, and I was a ghost in a business suit. I was winning the race, but I was losing my soul. This is the story of the day I decided to stop running, and the terrifying, beautiful silence that followed. If you've ever felt like you're just a passenger in your own life, this is for you. The collapse didn't happen with a bang. It happened with a flickering cursor on a Tuesday afternoon. I was looking at a spreadsheet that supposedly dictated the future of a multi-million-dollar firm. And suddenly, I couldn't remember why it mattered. The air in the office felt recycled, dead. I realized that my entire existence had been reduced to optimizing, scaling, and delivering. I walked out. I didn't announce it. I didn't send an email. I just left my badge on the desk and walked into the rain. 2 days later, I was driving north toward a village called Oakhaven, a place where the ocean doesn't care about your job title. When I arrived at the small, salt-worn cottage on the edge of the cliffs, the silence was violent. In the city, silence is an absence of noise. In Oakhaven, silence was a physical weight. For the first 48 hours, I was in withdrawal. My brain was screaming for a notification, a deadline, a problem to solve. I felt itchy. I felt guilty. We are so conditioned to be productive that when we stop, we feel like we are breaking the law. I met Elias on the 5th day. He was a fisherman, but to me, he looked like an ancient philosopher carved from driftwood. He was repairing a net on the pier, his hands moving with a slow, deliberate grace. "You're vibrating, girl," he said without looking up. "You brought the city's electricity in your bones. You need to let it ground out into the earth before you hurt yourself." I asked him if he ever felt like he was falling behind. He laughed, a deep, gravelly sound that seemed to come from the ocean itself. He told me that time in the city is a straight line, a race where everyone is trying to be first to a finish line that doesn't exist. But here, time is a circle. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. The seasons turn. You can't hurry the sunrise, he said, and you can't hurry your own healing. You've spent years trying to be fast. Now, try being deep. That night, I went back to my cottage and did something radical. I didn't turn on a light. I sat by the fireplace and watched the embers die down. I sat there for 4 hours. I didn't do anything. I just breathed. And for the first time in a decade, the shaking in my hands stopped. As the weeks passed, Oakhaven began to rewrite my DNA. I learned that happiness isn't a trophy you win. It's a byproduct of attention. I learned to taste my coffee. Really taste it, not just use it as fuel. I learned that a 3-hour walk along the cliffs, watching the seals play in the surf, was more valuable than any networking event I had ever attended. I learned about enough. In the city, the goal is always more. But more is a bottomless pit. Enough is a garden. When you have enough, you can finally sit down and enjoy the view. The most difficult part was the ghost of productivity. It would whisper to me in the mornings, "What have you accomplished today?" And I had to learn to answer. I watched the fog lift off the water. I felt the wind on my skin. I am alive. That is accomplishment enough. Eventually, the world came knocking. My old life sent a messenger in the form of a phone call, a partner seat, a bigger salary, a chance to be important again. I looked at the phone, and then I looked at the vast gray Atlantic. I didn't go back, not to that version of myself. I realized that slowing down isn't about being lazy. It's about being deliberate. It's about choosing what deserves your limited time on this planet. Today, I live with less, but I feel infinitely more. I paint, I help in the village shop, and I sleep without the help of a pill. As you listen to this, you might be in your car, or at your desk, or staring at a screen in the dark. I want to ask you, what is the cost of your speed? What are you missing while you're rushing to the next thing? You don't need to move to a cottage by the sea to find your Oak Haven. You just need to reclaim your right to be still. The world will tell you that you're falling behind. Let it. Because the secret is, there is no race. There is only this moment, and it's the only one you truly own. Stop, breathe, look around. You're already home.